I'm very excited about the season ahead. When you are the #1 team, you become more of a target. The expectations are very high.
What you are watching right now, it's the ultimate edition of my most popular documentary. Welcome to the official presentation of the Silver War F1 2016 Ultimate Edition. In this live stream, I will show you everything you need to know to understand why this ultimate version is much better than the previous ones, and obviously how you can watch this new and last version of probably my most popular Formula 1 documentary ever. Before to show you the changes I've made in this ultimate version and the differences between the remastered version that I made in 2019 and this new one that I made in this year in 2025, let's explain the full context of this documentary in case some people don't know too much about it. And to do that, let's move to my website, to my blog, blog.danifloz.com. The links will be available. Probably you will see very soon a card right now where you can get access in the replay of this video, and also in the comments below I will place a link to this blog in case you would like to take a look. In this blog, basically I show and I reveal a lot of information about my documentaries, the story behind my documentaries. This is for fans of my videos and also for people that wants to understand as well the context of every documentary. In this section, I have a section that is the Silver War. In this section, it's explained the full story of the documentaries. If you don't know, actually, there are 3 Silver War documentaries. It's the 2016 version, that is the one we are talking in this video today. Then it's Origins of the Silver War F1 2014, that was the prequel, and then it's Transition to the Silver War F1 2015. These are the 3 official Silver War documentaries I've made in my life. But we are focused today in this one, the Silver War F1 2016. This documentary, I made it in 2016, in December 2016, and I uploaded to my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, the channel you are now, FLoz, okay? And as you can read here, the Silver War was created by Danny Lozano, known as FLoz. Danny produced a documentary named as the Silver War F1 2016, telling the full story of the championship battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton that season in 2016. The documentary was released on YouTube on December 2016. The video was watched, shared, and commented by thousands of Formula 1 fans during the first days after the release. In 1 year, the Silver War F1 2016 reached more than 1 million views, a record breaking for a fan-made F1 documentary on YouTube. The documentary was hosted on YouTube until 2019, when it was blocked for unknown circumstances. In 2019, what I made was to create a new version that was a bit better, that I named Remastered version. That was the version that was actually online on my web until these days, the version you probably know that I made in 2019. Not everyone knows the original version in 2016. People know especially the 2019 version that I named Remastered version. And now today we are presenting the last version, as I said, that is the Ultimate Edition. That's the official name, okay? Let's watch a video that I just published 7 minutes ago in my second YouTube channel, that always I repeat the same. I strongly recommend you to subscribe. Danny Lozano FLoz F1. This channel, this is the whole project. Sorry guys. This channel is my second one where I explain a lot of tips, secrets, techniques I use in my videos. But 6 minutes ago, I just published this video that we can watch a bit where I explain more in detail the changes. But in this live, I want to watch with you part of this video And also, I will take the occasion to explain you more things about this new version. I made this documentary in 2016, just when the season ended. It was a fantastic documentary, and people really love it. Reached millions of views. I made a remastered version, because I felt that I improved a lot. This is the version I made in 2019, okay, the second one. It's a video editor. 3 years later, in 2019. And recently, I was able to create the ultimate version that I named the Silver War F1 2016 Ultimate Edition. Exactly, that's the story. Thank you, Slash. Thank you so much. Glad to see you love my videos. In this video, so let's skip some parts. Let's watch some changes. Obviously, the main one is color grading, okay? This is something you will probably notice if you have watched a lot of times this documentary. Let's go to take a look with this new one. In the previous versions, the color grading was a bit, you can see here, that's probably the biggest differences. At the left side, the old version, the remastered version in 2019, and then at the right side, the new one. As you can see, the colors are grading to, let's say, some kind of blue-green grading. It's all explained in this video we are watching right now. I will also place the link to this video, by the way. Probably I will place a card here at the top, or maybe in the comments below of this live, you can find the link to this video. The color grading is the main one. I worked really hard in the color grading of this new version of the documentary. Let's take a look. Moved to yellow gray colors. What I made is to change the color palette to, well, this is a bit more technical. Basically, what I made here, as you can see in the right color grading circles, this kind of let's say these wheels, color wheels, I'll move a bit to the blue tones. Is in the previous version were moved a bit more to yellow tones, as you can see here. Blues and green tones. Why? Because it's much more connected to the branding of the documentary, and also as you can see the differences. It's great. Let's watch it again. Documentary, and also to the colors of the Mercedes. You can see the changes. This car, as you can see in the screen. The logotype that, for example, I have in this t-shirt, and the logotype that you can see in the, well, this is more technical explanations that you can see basically in the video, but here we have more comparisons between the different colors of the new versions and the old version. Basically, in the new version, I was able, thanks to this color grading, to let's say to achieve that the Mercedes cars looks more silver, more aggressive. No, that's the main thing, you know. And in a documentary like this one, where most of the time are represented the two Mercedes cars because they are the protagonists of the documentary, Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, I really create this new color grading to make shining, to say in some way, to the Mercedes car over the rest of the grid. Just my preference, but for some reason I love the old grading. Even in games, that's like yellowish hue seems to be great for me. Maybe I'm just blinded by nostalgia. No, it's your opinion, and I respect it. I respect it. As if you really like the previous one, no problem. This is a matter of, you know, I cannot force you to enjoy this new color, but it's just opinion, and I respect it. As I said, in my opinion, I really love this new grading. Maybe for some people, as Slash, for example, in the chat, they prefer the old one because they see too much blue. It's possible, but you know, I think this color grading fits better for this kind of documentaries. It's much more visible. That makes the Mercedes cars looks much better. How much visible? This is exactly what I was explaining in the video. Even we can advance in this picture. Also, is really visible at the right side the new grading, and the new at the left side. Sorry, at the right side the new grading, and the left side the old grading. We can see here how the Hamilton's car that is at the right side with the new grading, for me, looks much better, in my opinion. That's okay. You are the creator and the great one. Well, but it's my opinion. No problem. I will put this screen because it looks that I'm freezing. At the right side, it's the new grading, and you can see the Mercedes. For me, in my opinion, looks much more aggressive, much more silver, and that's why I create this grading. Move on a bit because there are more changes, obviously. When I was making this documentary, I was taking footage from different sources. I have race highlights, race edits, race onboard cameras. All these, let's say, different cameras have different patterns of color. What I made in this documentary is to make sure that independently of the footage I was using every moment, the colors doesn't change too much between shots. As you can see, for example, in previous versions where some of the sequences were grading a bit more in red, some others were grading a bit more on green. And now, as you can see, the color model, the color grading is super similar between suits. That's very important as well. In the previous version, as I was explaining, I had footage from different sources, and I was not able to grade the same color grading in all the scenes. There were very big variations between shots, especially in some particular races. In this version, I've achieved that every single piece of footage, every single shot looks really similar in terms of color grading. That creates a much more immersive experience, a much more cinematic experience. That's how in cinema and filmmaking works, to achieve that every single shot, every single scene looks exactly the same in terms of colors. And that's what you will perceive, especially if you have watched this documentary a lot of times. Anyway, let's advance a bit more apart from color, because now we go to another very important chain, that is graphics. Massive improvement. Let's take a look. For example, the location graphics that are this graphic that appears when this is the new version, I think, yes, race starts. That is similar to the previous version, but a bit more darker. Well, this is the location graphic where you can see the country where Nico and Luis are racing, and the name of the circuit below, and the Grand Prix. Differences, for example, in the new version, I've decided to change the name of the... Sorry, let me check something. I don't know if I lost the mic or not. Just a moment. Okay. In the old version, I put the name of the country, Canada, for example. In this new version, I prefer to put the official Grand Prix name, Canadian Grand Prix. And this is something you will see. It's not a major change, nothing very important, but I think it's more professional. And just below the name of the circuit, as always, in this case, the location graphic is very similar. The big difference is the background is darker, the text is more readable, just that. Let's see another new graphic that changed, that is this one. Wow, the driver position graphic, take a look. The driver position is much more visible. In the previous versions, it was at the bottom right, and the visibility was terrible. Look at this is the old version that was at the bottom right, and every time you have to look at the position where Nico and Luis were, you have to put your eyes just below, and that's not nice at all for the vision. Trust me, if this is a almost 2 hours documentary, and this kind of graphics appears in the documentary, I don't know, 100 times, I have no idea. And to look at every time to the bottom right, it's annoying, and that's why the previous version, the old version, was not so nice in that regard. Every time you have to look at the position Hamilton and Rosberg were, you have to move your eyes to the... Exactly, that's what I explained. Let's watch the new version of the graphic. Version is to move the graphic to the middle part of the screen. Glad you like it, Slash. You see the position much easier. And this is the new one. Very simple, square with a photo of the driver, Nico or Hamilton. In this case, it's Hamilton, the name, and the position with the number. In this case, he's in pole position number 1. At the center, is it at the right side, but at the center of the screen. You just have to take a quick look to the right side to easily see where Nico or Luis are, in which position they are in that moment. Also, the graphic is much more simple. The name, the photo of the driver, and the position he is actually. This model of graphics, I have to say that I copied from my last Silver World documentary. That was the 2015 documentary named Transition to the Silver World. That is, you can watch it on this YouTube channel, also on my web. The model is really similar. I inspired in that one, and in that way I create a continuation in terms of graphics or visual style between the all documentaries, you know. Another thing that I really love using this new driver position graph. Well, this is more things. Let's skip a bit of the video. For example, more examples of the driver position graphic. Helmet of Lewis Hamilton. Also, I changed the animation of the graphic once some driver change position. Now the effect on the screen is much more visible. Look at the number 2 of the screen of the driver position of Rosberg. Very important that as well. That change, that I maintain the beep beep sound because it's a classic. I know some people love it. This kind of beep beep sound when Rosberg or Hamilton change position. But as you can see, let's replay again. Now, along to the number of the position Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton are, it's flashing in this kind of very blue tone and change position, much more visible. Let's watch it again. You can, you know, much better. I think also it's let's say it's copy from the previous documentary. Transition to the Silver War is very similar model. I'm really happy with that. Glad you like it. Glad you like it, man. You are enjoying it. That's nice. Very similar to the transition to the Silver War, but much more clean. I love it. I really love it. Much better than the previous one. That was very, very basic. And this is very important. Pay attention because these are these kind of little changes that makes the difference in this version of the documentary. Yeah, for some people really love this kind of sounds. This is the only documentary that I put sounds when a driver position change. But I was thinking really hard to remove that sound, but I said, a lot of people is used to listen to this sound. It's like nostalgia, you know, like old times. I will maintain in it. So, but pay attention to this. This is very important. Little detail, but very important. Wide by Hamilton.
Rosberg gets pushed wide by Hamilton, and that's a really poor start.
And now it will start to lose a lot of places. In the previous version, I only made one animation to reflect that Nico Rosberg lose like 6-7 places.
And that's a really poor start.
This is in the old one. Look at the driver position graphic, how it changed.
For Nico Rosberg.
Only one beep beep sound, and it was losing like 6 places. And now pay attention to the new version. What I did in this version is to represent every single position Nico Rosberg is losing individually.
Poor start for Nico Rosberg.
See, now, for example, in the Canadian Grand Prix, where we are now, Rosberg lose like 6 places. And now in the new version, there is counting every single time he's losing a place. In the previous one, only was one beep beep sound to represent that it was down from P2 to P7 or P8. I know this kind of changes does not affect too much to the experience of the documentary, but you know, they are important as well. You know, it's more professional, more representative as well. I think these kind of changes for me are really important to improve this version. What else? Move on to the team radio graphics, I think. I think you will like this one. Team radio graphics, big changes here. In the previous version, when a driver was talking in the team radio, Luis or Nico, the color was in yellow.
You gotta give me more information because of all the stuff going on my steering wheel with the warnings and everything.
Now, when drivers are talking, color is in this kind of blue-green colors that are much more in connection with the colors of the Mercedes cars, with the colors of the graphic.
You gotta give me more information because of all the stuff going on my steering wheel.
You can see the big difference. That's good. By no means do I wanna derail the stream, but did you think that maybe putting a red blip could make it better? Just a suggestion. Red blip? Oh, maybe, but I think these colors fits really well with the visual style of the documentary. That's why I put it. But yeah, it could be a good solution. New team radio graphics based in the 2015 documentary as well, but as you can see now, I prefer to maintain this kind of green colors when the driver is talking, Luis or Nico. The text will be in this kind of greens, and when the race engineer talks, it will be in white, exactly the same it was in the previous version. But now the team radio is at the right side. In the previous version, in the old one, was at the center, at the very bottom. Now it's much more. It's not, let's say, disturbing the image of the Mercedes car at the middle. Now it's in this kind of right position that for me, I think it's much better because it's easier to read. It's just in this kind of text box. It's much, in my opinion, much more easy to. Yeah, that's true. With the team of turquoise and silver, exactly. That's a reason. For me, it's much better, this graphic.
With the warnings and everything.
Also, I correct little misspellings or phrases that I translate wrongly. For example, in this one, it's right transcript I made because if we look back to the previous version, Nico is saying this.
You gotta give me more information because of all the stuff going on.
It's saying because all the stuff, and I transcript because of the warnings and everything, and it's saying because all the stuff
On my steering wheel.
on warnings and everything. I missed all the stuff, and in the new version I included this kind of blue green thing is now much.
You gotta give me more information because of all the stuff.
You can see because of all the stuff. Well, I repeat there 2 times. This is a little mistake, but all the stuff going on my steering wheel. Now it's well transcribed. And this is not the only part of the documentary. There are only other parts of the documentary where I also correct the misspellings or phrases that were a bit wrong, you know, in the context. Move on, guys. I think this is... okay. I need one more graphic to show you. That is the team standings. Very important as well. Pay attention. And finally, let me show you the driver standing graphics that also have changed. Now, the Rosberg face and the Lewis Hamilton face is not in black and white as it was in the previous version. Now it's in... this is the previous version. Well, basically they were in black and white. Now I decided to put them in color. I think much more, for me, it's better. And also I changed, I think, the colors of the points. Now, I don't remember. It was in the previous version. Now it's in color with a kind of shining... no, it's the same. The color is the same of the points. This is the same, just they are in color. I think for me it's better. And there are another important thing that I will say in the video, but I will tell you now. In the old version of the documentary, the team standings was only shown in certain races, after 3-4 races, how the championship was going on between Nico and Lewis. In this new version of the documentary, I decided to put the driver standings after every single Grand Prix, since round 1 in Australia until round 21 in Abu Dhabi. In every single race, once finished, you will see the driver standing points of Nico and Lewis. This is something some of you ask me, because sometimes you have not too much idea about how the championship was going on. So I decided to do it in that way. And this is all I have to talk about graphics. This is about the thumbnail. This is not very important, but let's take a look. I made 3 versions. This is the first one that I made, first time I uploaded. This is the original thumbnail, documentary in 2016. This is the second one that was uploaded. This is probably the thumbnail, you know, that was the thumbnail that was running until very recently and still running somewhere. And this is the new one. Until today, in 2019. And this is the last version. For me, much better. I made little changes. New cars, you know, the cloudy background at the bottom. Now Hamilton is at the right side, Nico at the left. I did that because in the photo I have of the cars, Nico is at the left and Hamilton at the right. So I changed the order of the position of Lewis and Nico to make coincide which the car they are driving. That's the reason. Also, I changed some contrast. The background is a bit different. For me, much better. I really love this new thumbnail, but this is just graphic design, not too much important. Move on to position and alignment. This is really important. Big changes here. Much professional right now. In this frame, in the previous version, you cannot see so much the hand of Lewis Hamilton, and now it's visible. Yeah, I hope it boosts the views. I hope. Because I think in this shot it's more important to see the Lewis Hamilton hand sprint. This is also little changes, but this is something, obviously you cannot compare every time. You will not realize of the difference because you cannot watch both versions at the same time, but this is something I made in a lot of clips of this documentary. This is maybe silly, but makes the difference. In the new version, as you can see the finger of Lewis spreading the champagne, and in the previous one was not. You cannot see that. Obviously, this is a minor let's say, improvement. But in another shots, as we will see now, makes the difference. In the Champagne. Move on to the Austrian Grand Prix, where both Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton collide in the last lap, as you can see here. In this suit, when the Nico Rosberg front wing is broken, you can see now in this version, in this Ultimate Edition, how the Rosberg's car is at the middle of the screen. In the previous version, the Rosberg's car was at the top of the screen. And in this version, in this new version, it's exactly what it should be, at the center of the screen. This is big difference. No, maybe you don't realize because you cannot compare versions, but as I said, the fact that the Rosberg's car in this shot is in the center makes much more easier for your eyes put the attention where it should be, you know. And this is just an example in this shot from the Austrian Grand Prix, but you will see this new repositioning in a lot of shots of this new version that makes the difference, creates much more cinematic experience. And wow, this one probably is my favorite feature of this new version. Pay attention. And this is something you asked me a lot as well during all these years. Experience of the viewer. The screen ratio have changed. Now you will not see this kind of black bars at the top and at the bottom of my documentaries. For the first time, you will see the Silver Award 2016 documentary. Exactly, guys. Exactly. That's something you were. I was blurred. This is something a lot of people ask me. Please, Danny, change the ratio of the screen. Remove the black bars of the documentary. Yes, I decided to do it this time. If you have an ultra-wide monitor, as you can see in the image, you will see the documentary. How do you record these new ratios? No, just the problem is that in the previous version, I rendering is the word when you compare all clips in one video. I don't know if that's the right word. I rendered the old version was rendered in this ratio in 69. So I create like artificial black bars purposely to fit in YouTube the video. But now what I made was to render the video in a new ratio directly, you know. That's why there are no bars, let's say. Let's say that the old bars, black bars, were fake. I put them by myself, to say in some way. What I did this time is to render directly in ultra-wide format, you know, without the black bars. That's what I did. So what that means is, if you have an ultra-wide monitor, as you can see in this image, you won't see the black bars. Or, for example, ultra-wide television, you will not see the black bars. Obviously, you have a standard monitor or TV, you will see the black bars anyway. But if in case you have this kind of devices, you will have a much more cinematic experience thanks to the phone users. Let me show you, by the way. Let me show you because I have my phone here. Let's watch in the phone. Let's watch this example. And you can see it's not using the full screen of my phone. It's just using the 69 ratio. It's not using the full capacity of the phone. But in the new version of the documentary of this Silver Award, now it's using the full capacity, the full space of my phone. Okay, absolutely all the space of my phone is being used because it's in ultra-wide format. So that creates a much more cinematic experience for phone users, as you said, / for people that watch the documentary on television in ultra-wide monitors. For me, this is the best, one of the best features. And move on to another one. Yeah, much better. Definitely something I had to make long time ago. Move on to this. It's not a feature, it's something different, but let's see. Documentary hub. In the press conference on Thursday of the last race of the documentary, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the original version and the remastered version have 9 minutes footage of the press conference Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton were sharing together as title contenders for the last race, where journalists were asking them a lot of questions.
I've got a question for both of you. It's been a close fought.
Do you remember this clip? This is before the last race in Abu Dhabi. I put in the previous version, We have around 99 minutes press conference where you can listen that famous question, super long question for one of the German journalists that made love in all the room. Okay, do you remember that clip? Okay, I have bad news and good news about that.
Season with the advantage swinging in both of your favours. What would each of you say was your best and worst drive of the year, please?
This file that contains the footage of that press conference in Abu Dhabi, it's corrupted. But I found another clip really interesting with that same press conference. The quality image is better, and I have a new clip because, as I said, the file I have that press conference was corrupted. We have a problem that this question from this German guy is not in this new clip. Unfortunately, we have missed that question and part of the press conference because I lost the file. It was damaged. I don't know why. But the good news is we have another clip that is around 3 minutes, something like that. But for example, as you can see here, it's the quality is better, and we have different shots from the press conference where you can see Nico and Rosberg in the same shot, responding questions, and it's much more interesting. Let me show you one example in the real documentary.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one. Well, I mean, we obviously had a very good relationship generally when we started out when we were kids. Back then, obviously.
Also, this is new. I put a bit more of context using photos from Nico and Luis when Luis was talking about the relationship he had with Nico at the beginning of in karting, in his first days in racing.
See, it was a race weekend was generally for kids karting. You're out having fun. You go out and drive, and you come in and you fool around.
Let me show you.
You give a bit of information to your mechanic.
For example, this angle is new. You can see Luis from the lateral side. These cameras were not in the previous version. Okay. Just one suggestion, Danny, maybe for future bits, it will be a good touch to have the flags of the country on the graphic when you present a new race. Okay, I noted. It's a good idea.
And you go and play PlayStation or you go Uniside.
Well, basically, this is probably the only let's say the only new clip of the documentary, but I think it's yeah, exactly. That's great and better context. This is, let's say, the new clip of this new version. We lost some minutes of the press conference, but we gained some angles as this one. I think it's much better. There are interesting shots from laterals. Here we have a comparison between both versions at the same time. You will see now. Side where you can see Luis and Nico Rosberg together, their faces.
Shifted in the sense, he's obviously very, very solely focused in terms of, looking after himself. So, and obviously we parted ways when we were.
This comparison is the good one. At the same minute of the documentary in both versions, left side old version, right side new version, they are exactly saying the same. It's the same moment in the documentary, but as you can see that the cameras are different. In the new version, you can see Luis and at the background Nico, the face of Nico, and in the old version you only can see Luis. Look at that.
He went BMW, I went Renault, and but then we got to Formula One.
By the way, if you are. For me, it's a massive change. We lost some minutes of the press conference, but this kind of new shots where you can see Nico and Luis at the same time, for me, it's better. Some people ask me a lot of times, Danny, how long takes to you to edit this new version of the documentary in terms of time? If you would like to have a good measure, in this channel, that is my second channel, Danny Lozano FLoz, okay, is 1 month ago I was on live editing the last race of the documentary in Abu Dhabi, this video. This live is about 2 hours 32 minutes long, and this is only editing the last race of the documentary, guys. Only the last race of the documentary, and it took to me 2 hours and a half. So this is round 21, and the documentary have 21 races. So you can imagine, if you put together all races, how much time I was re-editing, because I have to change the color of every single clip of the documentary. I have to place the new text box with the radio transcriptions one by one once again, to copy the old version and to place it in the new graphic that was in a new position, changing the colors of the text, changing the colors. The graphic was not, it was just copy and paste, but the color test was changed manually by me, one by one, in every single graphic. So in that way, you can imagine how much time it took to me to edit this whole new version of the documentary. In this live, that is in my second YouTube channel, you can, if you are really curious and you would like to see, it's just music and me editing. But if you really love this process, you have a full live stream that I made 1 month ago in my second channel, that the name is Editing the Documentary, The Silver War F1 2016 Ultimate Edition. In this live, that is 2 hours and a half. Some people watch it fully, it's incredibly. Some people watch this live fully and the replay fully. That's some people that is interesting. You can realize how much work there is behind this new editing process, okay, guys? For people that, as I said, is really curious and they love to learn more about the technical process, how I was grading the colors, why I grade these colors, for example, some graphics as this one that I want to show you now, graphics where you can see comparisons. I explain more in detail how these changes affect to different images of the documentary. If you love these kinds of graphics with explanations, in my Patreon page, I have a very important post that the name is The Secrets Behind the New Look of the Silver War. Obviously, this post is not for everyone. You have to be FLoz Premium member to get access to the full post. As you can see, it's blurred here. It's much longer than that. You have a lot of photos, graphics, as what I was showing you behind. You can unlock it becoming a FLoz Premium member. You can buy also directly this post and to get access to only this post, not to my Patreon page fully, but if you become a member here, as a FLoz Premium member, you have to be FLoz Premium, you can get access to this post, and not only that, to all the content I have on Patreon. That is a lot. There is a lot of log content where I explain technical things about my edits, not only about the Silver War, about the 8th and 1, the F121 documentary. I have full playlists with the name of every song of my documentaries, including the Silver War documentaries. I have a full playlist with all song names. About my 2024 documentary, I have a lot of videos explaining details of my edits about Piastri, Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari, all my videos, the technical process explained, the changes I made, what it means, these changes. My Patreon is, wow, it's for people who really love the technical process of my videos. That's amazing. So I will place also the link to my Patreon here in a card in the replay, and also will be available in the description and in the comments below of this video in case you would like to take a look.
We don't believe so, Lewis, but he may be a threat later in the race. He takes the super soft. Okay, Lewis, this is an instruction. We need 45.1 for the win.
I suggest you guys let us race. Consider doing something, make it go so much quicker.
Yeah, copy that.
Vettel seems so much closer as they go to the next chicane. He gets in front of Max Verstappen.
Lewis, this is Paddy. We need you to pick up the pace to win this race. That's the instruction.
And Lewis is trying to go as slow as he can out front. You know, just look at the sector time. Hamilton's like, I will not clear off into the sunset.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, if you are a really big fan of this documentary and you have watched a lot of times, you are watching right now that this is a new experience watching this documentary. Mercedes just nailed the hybrid era. So much credit to James Allison. Yeah, the domination. Now, coming back to these documentaries, I always say the same. I realized how much good was Nico Rosberg. At that time, I was not appreciating how much good was Nico Rosberg because Lewis was winning. But seeing the domination Nico and Lewis had in these 3 years, for example, watching now Piastri and Norris with a very dominant car, they are not being able to achieve the domination Rosberg and Hamilton had with a superior car. So yeah. But this is another discussion we can talk in other videos. Sick Dog, my buddy, and I reference it all the time. Really? Wow, thank you, man. Thank you so much. That helped me a lot. Thank you. This documentary is only possible to watch, guys, on my website, guys. As you know, in those days, copyright that's super strict. This documentary, unfortunately, was blocked long time ago on YouTube. That's why I create this solution. You don't understand how great your work is. So many Drive to Survive babies will understand the story through your video. Oh, wow. I don't know, man. I was making this 11 years. And I always say the same. Thanks to all of you guys. Your love, your support is amazing, guys. I'm receiving every single day comments from you, not only in YouTube, in all my social media, telling me that. And I just can say thank you, guys. You made possible. You really made possible. I can keep doing this, and I can expand this kind of, let's say, universe to new Formula One fans. You know, guys, you're thanks to you, people who is sharing your videos. F1 subreddits. A lot of people share my videos in Reddit, and I did nothing about it. They do it by myself. I don't want to spam too much. I don't like to spam them, you know. So, but people do it by themselves. And as I said, this is thanks to you guys. How you tell me that you watch my videos with your friends, with your family, you share it. The best way to support me or to help me is sharing these videos through the world with your friends, family. That's what really helped me a lot. Obviously, if you would like to support my work on Patreon, I will be super grateful as well. This is the platform where I can, you know, thanks to this platform, people can support me and I can still working on this. And as a way to say thank you, I post a lot of exclusive content for FLoz premium members. There is another option that you don't receive exclusive content, but this is just for people who just want to support me, the FLoz supported version. But the way you help me as well is sharing these videos. And as I said, the only possible site to watch this documentary is, as I said, in my web. You will see now the old thumbnail. It's not the new thumbnail. I have to change it. Probably if you are watching this video a long time after, the thumbnail will be changed. Here is changed. And as I said, DannyFLoz.com. By the way, let me expand you a bit more. Let's visit just a moment the FLoz store where, because some people ask me, Danny, these t-shirts are possible to get somewhere? Yes, I get in my store, and you can do it as well. I have the old version because the logo is a bit different. This version is not running actually. Actually, it's this one that is a bit different because it's updated. The logo is a bit different. It's exactly how it looks now in the thumbnail. But you can get these t-shirts. There are also pullover hoodies in case you are in winter. There are even mugs with the logo type for people who likes to drink coffee on the silverware coffee. You know, there is a lot of products. There is posters. This version that is on silver. This is for big fans of my documentaries that are telling me, Danny, can you get your t-shirts? Yes, you can in the FLoz store. Link available in my web. There is a link to the store. I will place it probably also somewhere in this live in case you would like to visit. And from now it's time to watch it again. If you watch it, go to watch again. It will be a completely new experience. Even if the footage is exactly the same, you will enjoy it a lot. I'm sure of that. And finally, in case you are watching the replay of this live stream, I will place the link to my website here where you can watch the documentary. And here I will place the official Silver World playlist where you can see a lot of Silver World videos. Thank you guys. Thank you. Enjoy the documentary. See you very soon with very nice live stream. I have big surprises for all of you in the future. Take care. Bye bye.